Hey guys, Sean here. Today I'll be profiling my Buster Blader Blue Eyes deck. As you guys know, I love Buster Blader. I will combine this deck with anything, and Buster Blader has some insane synergy with the new Blue Eyes cards. If you're going to play Buster Blader as a combo deck, I think Buster Blader Blue Eyes is one of the best ways you can take the deck. Of course, Blue Eyes on its own is very strong, and I think this is a great combination of the two decks. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. We will begin with the Blue Eyes side. We only need to run 2 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. He's awesome, he's the OG. One thing both Blue Eyes and Buster Blader have in common is that you need to run 2 bricks. So we run the 2 Blue Eyes, super easy to get out, really important for your combos, so you definitely run 2 copies. Next up, for your main starter of your Blue Eyes, you have triple Sage with Eyes of Blue. It is a level 1 light tuner, which is very important. When this card's normal summoned, you can add 1 level 1 light tuner, except itself from your deck to your hand. This has many targets in the deck. You can search your new Maiden of White, which is an insane card for the deck. You can search Effect Veiler, which is really cool. And the main way this deck synergizes with Buster Blader is that you can search your Buster Whelp. So on its own, this is fantastic. It is also a soft once per turn, so if you summon multiple of this, you can get multiple searches. And it has the effect in hand, where you can target one monster you control, discard Sage from your hand, send the targeted monster to the grave, and then special summon Blue Eyes directly from the deck. It can come up in certain situations, it has good synergy with your Maiden, so we 100% max out triple Sage, one of the best cards in the deck. Next up, triple Kaiser Sea Horse. Now, some builds might not run this card, however I think it's really good in Buster Blader specifically. This deck is 45 cards, and that's really important because we don't want to draw our bricks. While Kaiser Sea Horse might not be as great of a starter as your Sage, it still is a really good card in the deck, and adding this card just makes it so that you won't draw into your bricks as often, and you'll still see your starters. Kaiser Sea Horse is a level 4 tuner. It can be special summoned from your hand if you control Blue Eyes, and if it's sent to grave, you can send 1 Blue Eyes or 1 monster that mentions it from your deck to grave. So this can either send Blue Eyes White Dragon from deck to grave, or something like your Maiden of White, which is really important in setting up your combos. So maxing out 3 copies of Kaiser Sea Horse is really good. Next up, 3 copies of your Maiden of White. Just an insane card. Just like Sage, it is a level 1 light tuner. It has the effect where you can send it from your hand or field to the grave in order to activate a copy of your True Light directly from your deck or from your hand or grave. True Light is a really important card in the deck, so being able to not only get it straight from your deck, but also being able to get it back from the grave is really good. Maiden can also come back from the grave. When you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can special summon this card from your grave, which is fantastic because it allows you to easily go into any one of your Synchro 9s, and it has the additional effect where if this card is targeted for an attack or by a card effect, you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck, which is really cool because you're able to target this card with some of your own card effects to get a free Blue Eyes out from the deck. So max out 3 copies of Maiden, an essential card for the deck. Next up onto the Buster Blader monsters, we have 3 copies of your Buster Whelp. So again, this is a level 1 light tuner, so easily searchable. You can search this off of your Sage or even your Wishes with Eyes of Blue. What Buster Whelp does is on normal summon, you're able to search a Destruction Sword card from your deck to your hand. This card on its own is a 1 card starter, specifically for your Buster Blader side, so it's insanely strong, really good synergy with the Blue Eyes cards, so we definitely max out triple Whelp. Next up, 1 copy of your Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. This is a level 1 Dark Tuner, so you won't be able to search it off of your Sage, and you won't be able to additional normal summon it off of your Mausoleum, but it's really strong. If it is equipped to a monster, your opponent is not able to special summon monsters from the extra deck. You're able to send this from deck to grave using your Link to Destruction Sword card, your Protector Whelp, and you're able to use your Buster Dragon in the extra deck to equip this to one of your Buster Blader monsters, enabling you to lock your opponent out of the extra deck. Now in this build specifically, I can see running this in the side deck or cutting it completely. Sometimes it really feels like a win more card. However, we're playing Buster Blader, might as well have the 1 Dragon Buster Destruction Sword in the deck. Next up, the mandatory brick, 2 copies of your Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsmaster. The reason we run 2 copies is because you need one of these cards in your deck in order to resolve your Prologue. Your Prologue is your main way in the deck to summon out your Buster Blader Fusion monster and your Buster Dragon. As much as I want to run this card at 1 copy, if you draw it at 1 copy, you won't be able to resolve your Prologue, turning off your Buster Blader engine entirely, so you need to run 2 copies. But it can be discarded off of cards like your Wishes, so it's not completely useless. Also, we're specifically running the retrain of Buster Blader because it's able to be special summoned off of the effect of your Protector Whelp, whereas the original Buster Blader cannot. So 2 copies of Buster Blader is perfectly fine. Onto the hand traps now. Triple Effect Veiler. As I mentioned before, Sage can search this card, which is fantastic. It is not once per turn, and in certain situations this can be a combo starter. Veiler is a spellcaster, meaning that you can use it as link material for your new link monster Spirit with Eyes of Blue. So in some cases you can actually normal summon this card and be able to do some of your combos. So it just has really good synergy with the deck, and Veiler has always been a great hand trap, so definitely run the 3 copies. Next up, Triple Ash Blossom, of course, just a staple of pretty much any deck in the game. Negate searches, negate special summons, negate sending cards from deck to grave. Just a fantastic generic hand trap, so run 3 copies of Ash. Next up, 3 copies of Nibiru, just another really good hand trap. Will punish your opponent if they summon more than 5 times. And a very niche but funny thing you can do is that when you summon this card, it is a level 11 monster, meaning that if you normal summon a level 1 tuner, you can technically go into a Synchro 12, which in this case would be Crimson Dragon. So that's quite funny if it ever comes up, but for the most part you're just running it as a really strong hand trap, so 3 copies of Nib is something I like. Next up onto the spells now, 3 copies of your Wishes for Eyes of Blue, which is probably the best card that the new Blue Eyes Structure deck released. It allows you to discard a card to search 1 level 1 light tuner and 1 spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes directly from your deck. So this is able to search any one of your starters. It's able to search your Sage, your Maiden, and even your Buster Whelp, which is really good. Being able to discard a card can come in handy with certain cards in the deck. Using your Maiden to activate your True Light is able to set your Wishes directly from the deck, so it's very easy to get to. And it has the effect in Grave where you can banish it from the graveyard, target one of your Blue Eyes monsters, and equip 1 Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck to it. This enables you to equip your Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to one of your Blue Eyes, and then you're able to summon your Tyrant Dragon directly from the extra deck. So honestly, one of the best cards in the deck. Do not run less than 3, it's just fantastic. Next up, 1 copy of Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. It allows you to special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your deck, grave, or banishment. In this build, it's just going to be the regular Blue Eyes. Being able to recycle your Blue Eyes from banishment is really good, because this deck really suffers against cards like Bestials, which will banish your Blue Eyes. Being able to bring your Blue Eyes back from banished is really good. You're able to search this card off of Wishes, or even your True Light. And it has the effect in Grave where you can banish it to fusion summon a fusion monster using monsters from your hand or field, including a Blue Eyes monster. So this is able to summon out your Tyrant Dragon in weird situations, or it can technically even summon out your Buster Blader fusion monster, which is really funny, so the 1 copy is more than enough. Next up, 1 copy of your Mausoleum of White, which is the Blue Eyes field spell, which you can search off the new Link 1 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Whilst in the field, you can do an additional normal summon of a level 1 light tuner, which is pretty much all of your main starters in the deck, including your Buster Whelp, which means you can normal summon your Sage, search your Buster Whelp, link off into your new Spirit Dragon, which will be able to search your Mausoleum of White, activate Mausoleum of White, and use the effect to do an additional normal summon of your Whelp, to start off your Buster Blader combos that way. That effect alone is fantastic, but also has the effect where you can target 1 monster you control, send 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to grave, and increase its attack by the level of the monster you send times 100. The attack increase doesn't really matter, the main effect is directly dumping a Blue Eyes monster from your deck to grave, which is really important for your combos, so the 1 Mausoleum of White is all you need. Next up, for more generic stuff, 1 Called By, great for stopping your opponent's hand traps, really good against Fiendsmith stuff as well, just a really good generic card to have in pretty much any deck. 1 copy of Pot of Prosperity, just a really good consistency card. Honestly, even just banishing 3 cards from your extra deck to look at the top 3 cards of your deck can be really important. So just a really good consistency card, so 1 copy of Prosperity is pretty good. Next up, 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Again, just a really good generic card in pretty much any deck. If your opponent activates a monster effect during your main phase, you can either look at your opponent's hand and shuffle 1 card from your hand back into the deck. You can either take control of one of your opponent's monsters, or you can draw 2 cards. Talent is just a really good card, especially with so many hand traps going around. There will be a lot of monster effects being activated during your main phase, so you can use talents to benefit off of that. But if you don't want to run talents, you can run even more hand traps if you want, but I really like the triple talents in this deck. Onto the traps now. 1 copy of your True Light, which you are able to activate directly from the deck using your Maiden. Whilst in the field, your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragons with card effects. It has two effects. You can either set one card directly from your deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon, or you can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon directly from the grave. Both effects are really good. Bringing back Blue Eyes is really good for the grind game, and being able to set any spell trap that mentions Blue Eyes is just fantastic for extending your combos. The only downside is that if True Light is sent to the grave, it will destroy all monsters you control, so keep that in mind. That is a bit of a downside, but also remember that this card is not like Fire King Island. If this card leaves the field by being banished or something like that, it will not destroy all your cards, so SP banishing this is not that bad. Maiden is able to activate this card even from the grave, which is really good, so one copy of True Light is more than enough. Next up, one Majesty of the White Dragons. You can set this directly off of True Light, and what it does is that you can show up to 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand, grave, or field, and then destroy that many cards in the field. This is non-targeting destruction, and if you have a Blue Eyes monster in your hand, they can really catch your opponent off guard, because they might not know how many cards you're going to be able to destroy. But the one copy of Majesty is really good for just destroying your opponent's cards, and all of the trap cards in this deck can be recycled off of your Tyrant Dragon, so you're able to get this card back from the grave, which is really good, so one copy of Majesty is fantastic. Onto the Buster Blader traps, 3 copies of your Prologue, which is your main card for your Buster Blader combo. When you activate this card, for cost you're going to send a Destruction Sword card and a Buster Blader monster from your deck to grave, which allows you to special summon your Buster Dragon directly from the deck. This is why you need Buster Bladers in the deck, because if you have 2 Buster Blader in your hand, you're not even going to be able to activate your Prologue. Prologue is going to send a Buster Blader monster and your 1 copy of Destruction Sword Memories, which whilst in the graveyard, you can banish it along with fusion material from your graveyard in order to summon a Buster Blader fusion monster. This is the whole Buster Blader trap lineup we have here. The 1 copy of Memories is all we need. If we hard draw this, we're able to discard it off of something like our Wishes, and then use its effect in grave to fusion summon our Buster Blader fusion monster. So that's it for your little Buster Blader package. And finally, to round out the deck, triple Imperm, again just a really good hand trap in the game, and really cool synergy with your Tyrant Dragon, which is able to reset this card from your grave. So all around just a fantastic card in the deck. Now onto the extra deck. Let's begin with 1 copy of your Buster Blader the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman, and 1 copy of your Buster Dragon. These are the 2 cards that will be summoned off of your main Buster Blader combo. Buster Dragon will be special summoned off of your Prologue, and your Buster Blader fusion monster will be summoned using your Memories. So Buster Blader has the continuous effect where it will turn all of your opponent's Dragon type monsters on the field to defense position, and it will prevent your opponent from activating the effects of Dragon type monsters in their possession, which means that they will not be able to activate Dragon type monsters' effects from their hand, field, grave, or anywhere. It also gains 1000 attack for each Dragon type monster on your opponent's field and in their grave. It also does piercing, but it cannot attack directly. And what Buster Dragon does is turns all your opponent's monsters on the field to Dragon type. As you can see, if you have both these monsters on the field, you pretty much set up a one-sided skill drain. Buster Dragon also has the effect where, during your opponent's turn, you can equip a Destruction Sword card from your grave to one of your Buster Blader monsters. So this is how you'll set up your extra deck lock, by equipping your Dragon Buster to your Buster Blader. Now Buster Dragon will be destroyed by the effect of Prologue during the next standby phase after it was summoned, so keep that in mind. It is on a timer, but we do have ways in the deck to protect it from being destroyed by the effect of Prologue. Next up, 1 copy of your Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon and 1 copy of your Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Tyrant Dragon needs a Blue Eyes White Dragon and 1 Dragon type monster to fusion summon. However, you're also able to special summon your Tyrant Dragon by tributing 1 Blue Eyes monster you have that is equipped with a fusion monster. That's why the effect of your wishes is really important, because what you're able to do is equip your Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to one of your Blue Eyes monsters, and then tribute that Blue Eyes monster to special summon Tyrant Dragon. Tyrant Dragon is unaffected by trap card effects, can attack all monsters your opponent controls, and at the end of the damage step, you can target one of your traps in the graveyard and set it to your field. This card is really good for closing out games, clearing boards, and even getting some of your cards back from the grave. And your Neo Blue Eyes, we are unable to summon in this deck, but that's not the point. The point is to use this with your wishes to equip it to a Blue Eyes monster to summon your Tyrant Dragon. And also, while your Neo Blue Eyes is in the grave, if your opponent tries to target one of your Blue Eyes monsters, you can banish it from the grave to negate the activation and destroy the card. So really good protection. These 2 cards are just really good to run side by side, so definitely run 1 of each. Next up, onto the synchros here, 3 copies of your Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, just a really good card for the deck. It needs 1 Blue Eyes monster and 1 tuner. It has the effect where neither player can special summon 2 monsters at the same time, but the main effect of this card is that you contribute it to special summon any Light Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck, but you destroy it during the end phase. This is able to tag out into stuff like Crimson Dragon, even stuff like Azure Eyes. Any Light Dragon Synchro monster that doesn't specifically need to be Synchro summoned can be special summoned off of your Spirit Dragon, which is fantastic. 3 copies is really good because it's not once per turn, and you're able to get a bunch of these guys out with your combos. And it also has the effect where if your opponent activates a card in the grave, you can negate the activation, which is just a cherry on top of a really good card, so I think the 3 copies is pretty much mandatory. Now we will move on to the targets for your Spirit Dragon. We have 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, 1 copy of your Azure Eyes, and 1 copy of your Crimson Dragon. Now before we get into Azure Eyes and Crimson Dragon, let's focus on Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. While its cards on the field, your opponent cannot banish cards from your graveyard, which is very important with your Buster Blader cards. A common way for your opponent to stop your Prologue resolving is to banish your Buster Blader or some of your Dragon Monsters in grave with either Bestials or something like a Cult By. But Ultimate Spirit Dragon is able to prevent your opponent from banishing them, which will allow you to safely resolve your Prologue. It also has the effect where if your opponent activates a card or effect on the field, you can negate the effect and gain 1000 attack. And if this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Light Dragon from your grave, which is pretty much any one of your Blue Eyes monsters. It can be OG Blue Eyes, Spirit Dragon, Tyrant Dragon. It can bring out a lot of different cards. If you summon this off of your Spirit Dragon, it will be destroyed during the end phase, so you'll be able to tag back into your Spirit Dragon, which is really cool. Next up, 1 Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. I think this should definitely be a copy of Stardust Divine Cipher Dragon, which is pretty much this card but just better. What Azure Eyes does is when it is special summoned, dragon type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effect until the end of the next turn. This is really good protection for all your dragon type monsters, and it even prevents your Buster Dragon from being destroyed by your own effect Prologue, which is just fantastic. And if you summon it off the effect of your Spirit Dragon, it will protect itself from being destroyed by the effect of a Spirit Dragon. Also, during the standby phase, you're able to special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon directly from the grave, which is really cool. Now this card is really good and really budget friendly, but there is a better card you can run. If you can, you should try run 1 copy of your Stardust Divine Cipher Dragon, which you will summon out using your Crimson Dragon. What Cipher Dragon does is that whilst on the field, the first time any one of your cards will be destroyed by card effect, they are not destroyed. That is applied each turn, so every turn your opponent's going to have to destroy your cards twice in order to destroy them, which is insane blanket protection for all of your cards. Unlike Azure Eyes, it's not just your dragon type monsters. This protects all your cards, so even stuff like your True Light will be protected. And it also has the effect where when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can negate the effect and then destroy 1 card on the field. This card is just insanely strong. If you're running it, you're going to be summoning it off of your Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon can be summoned off of your Spirit Dragon, and it has the effect where you can target 1 synchro monster you control, shuffle it back into the deck, and then special summon a synchro monster from your extra deck with the same level as the targeted monster. So essentially, you'll be going into your Spirit Ultimate Dragon, then summoning your Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon will target your Ultimate Dragon, which is a level 12 synchro, enabling you to special summon your Cipher Dragon directly from the extra deck. So I do think if you have it, definitely replace Azure Eyes with Cipher Dragon, but Azure Eyes is not bad at all. And honestly, if you're not going to be running Cipher Dragon, probably replace Crimson Dragon with a copy of Lightstorm Dragon. Next up, 1 copy of your Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, another Crimson Dragon target because it's a level 9 dragon, but it can also be summoned using your Buster Dragon and 1 level 1 tuner, which can come up. It has the effect where you can quick effect, target 1 card in the field and negate its effects. So this is just really good targeted negation, can stop a lot of cards that other cards just can't negate. So I like the 1 copy, I think it's pretty good. Finally, onto the links here, we have 2 copies of your Spirit with Eyes of Blue, one of the most important cards from the new support. It just needs 1 level 4 or lower spellcaster or dragon monster, which all of your starters in the deck are. On summon, it allows you to search your Mausoleum of White, and whilst in the field, you can tribute it to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand or grave. So just really important for your combos. The only downside is that it locks you into dragons, and while that might not be a problem in pure Blue Eyes builds, the fact that we are running the Buster Blader cards can pose a bit of an issue. If this card's on the field, we're unable to summon our Buster Blader Fusion monster, so definitely keep that in mind. Try to get this card off the field before resolving your Prologue. Next up, 1 copy of your Protector Whelp. Generic link 2 just needs any 2 monsters. When it's summoned, you can send any Destruction Sword card from your deck to the grave, and then if you have a Buster Blader monster in your hand, you can special summon it. This is mainly used to set up your extra deck lock by sending your Dragon Buster to the grave, but it also has the effect where if you control a Buster Blader monster that did not attack, and your opponent controls no cards, you're able to burn your opponent for the attack of your Buster Blader monster. Since your Buster Blader fusion monster cannot attack directly, this can be a good way to burn your opponent, so keep that in mind, but the 1 copy of Protector Whelp is really important. And finally, rounding out the deck, 1 copy of your Spheres needs any 2 dragon monsters as the quick effect where you contribute 1 dragon monster from your hand or field to return 1 card on the field to the hand. And if itself is tributed, you can special summon any dragon directly from your deck. A fantastic generic card in any dragon deck, so 1 copy is more than enough. So that's it for my Buster Blader Blue Eyes deck profile. Overall, very happy with how the deck turned out. Honestly, one of my favourite ways to play Buster Blader these days. It's just really fun. Great to be able to combine 2 really nostalgic and fan favourite archetypes into 1 genuinely very good deck. If you want to see this deck in action, I have some Master Duel videos on the deck that you can check out. If you want to see a combo guide, let me know. If you want to build this deck yourself, we have a TCG player affiliate link in the description, which you can use. If you buy cards using that link, it directly supports the channel and helps us keep up the content. If you also want to support the channel, make sure you consider becoming a member. Members get access to all our videos as soon as we make them. Special shout out to Kieran Thompson. Thanks so much for your support. So thanks for watching, let me know what you think in the comments, and stay tuned for more Buster Blader content.